This is called Autopilot 1 Secrets and Concerns. Wie geht's? Besteht noch immer auf zwei Beinen? Bonjour, ni hao ma, and buenos dias. So, I've been doing research with the help of software engineers and others on what the future is for Autopilot 1. So there's some general, I'd say 5 points you should be aware of about Autopilot 1, which is loaded on most of the Teslas that are currently available, both Model X and Model S. The change to Autopilot 2 didn't occur until November of 2016, so this is a word to all those that are sort of stuck with Autopilot 1. If you don't choose to try to do a retrofit, the big question that was lurking is what happens to updates for people who have Autopilot 1? And the answer is you no longer get updates. The reason for this is that Mobileye and Tesla no longer have a relationship. And because with accidents and other things, there's a declining number of users for Autopilot, there's no economic incentive for anyone to update Autopilot 1. So I want to say there's some good news and bad news here. The good news is, as of March of 2017, Autopilot 1 is still better than Autopilot 2. My expectation is by the intro Autopilot of Tesla Model 3, that will no longer be the case. Many of the bugs will be gone, but in particular, the big problem of Autopilot 1, in my mind, is cameras on the side of the car that can address vehicles approaching and obstacles approaching the vehicle from the side more clearly. And between the sonar and the extra cameras, I believe Autopilot 2 will end up being a better product. It's just it's not ready yet. So the issue then is, what happens to the older users of Autopilot 1? And my answer is, you've got a better product in hand right now, number one. And then number two, there's a longer testing history. So there are a bunch of issues with Autopilot 1. Another of them is that both the system and the hardware are in essence 5 years old technology. So that means that it's very stable, it's well tested on all kinds of driving conditions among multiple manufacturers. So in some cases, it might actually be better to have the older hardware and software because of this. There are challenges that lurk in the future, though. For example, if there are any bugs in the software, etc., Tesla can't fix them, and because it's Mobileye software, which is a copyright infringement, and Mobileye won't fix them because they no longer are getting paid by Tesla. So this is a problem that lurks. So hopefully I hear from you guys to suggest that perhaps we could get a situation going where Autopilot 1 customers over time develop a system for getting their own upgrades done or porting them over from Mobileye so that functionality that might be important additions to the safety of Autopilot 1 can be enjoyed by all Tesla owners. The other note to make is that because the hardware is old, it's going to go through a cycle where if yours breaks, hardware or software, you might be able to buy it from a broken down vehicle that's been in an accident or something. But they no longer make the hardware that is Autopilot 1 for this vehicle. So the next stage is on a temporary basis, be it 1 or 2 years, you'll be able to find old versions or leftovers from damaged vehicles. But eventually, this hardware will disappear, and so will the software. So there lurks this huge question mark for those that appreciate Autopilot 1 and the difference it makes. But it's really being handled much like your anti-lock brakes, for example. Once those brakes were finished, there was no upgrades for them, period. I don't think that makes sense for Autopilot for a whole bunch of reasons, but that's the current state of things. So the good news is your Autopilot works, and it works way better than Autopilot 2. The bad news is that it's an off-orphan software product from a company that no longer does business with Tesla. So the incentive to really make sure long-term owners are happy campers is kind of low. It's an unfortunate circumstance, but it's nice to understand what's going on. Look forward to your comments. Please like and subscribe. Look forward to more updates as we learn more. Thank you. Tschüss, macht's gut. Au revoir. Lahitchot. Choda Hafez. Adios.